Your morning blitz begins now.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday, and it's going to be pretty much a perfect Tuesday. High of 75 and sunny pretty much all day long. I'm here for it. It's a golf day.
Now, will it be soaking wet?
No, it'll probably dry out.
Yeah.
And not to mention, a lot of golf courses have got some sort of drainage system that helps pull the water away.
All right.
Not all do very well with it, but for the most part. So, yeah, excited to get on out. Kelly, how are you this morning?
Good. We're getting our entire driveway redone, and we have an enormous driveway. It's like, it's huge. And it's like horseshoe sort of shaped, and it is big, and it's blacktop. And yesterday they chunked it all up, took all the old blacktop away, and sort of smoothed out the stones and everything.
Right.
But I want to tell you, we got so much rain yesterday afternoon, and these guys worked through it. And
Did they really?
By the time they left, one of the guys knocked on the door to ask if it was fine to leave their equipment where it was. This guy was dripping drenched, like working out there the whole time in the rain. I'm like, that is not for sissies.
No, it is not.
That is tough work.
And but is it all muddy now? Because
there's a part that's just like a little bit flooded, but no, it's not muddy.
Okay.
It's good. It's all fine.
Are you going to be home while because they're doing that today? They're laying down the blacktop today?
If they can. They're going to check and make sure that the rain didn't mess up their timeline.
Are you going to be around when they do it?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't because that gives me the worst. It's like incense, like that black tar
that smell.
Yeah, it gives me the worst headache.
It's pretty strong.
Even driving by like a small construction zone, I'm just like, oh God, I can't take it.
No, yeah.
And how they do it day in and day out. No way. Dick, how are you?
I'm good. My plants are growing like crazy with their new greenhouse.
Haze? Is that what it is? Lemon haze?
I have super lemon haze, purple haze, and tangy dream.
Okay, so we're doing, last year was 2 plants.
Yeah,
what are we doing
both
this
were
year?
Mexican haze. I have 6 this year. 3 different kinds.
That's your limit, right?
Well, no, I mean, at this point, they haven't changed the law yet, so at this point, I could actually grow 12.
So next year, if they don't change it, we're going 12.
Well, I don't even need... I still have so much from the 2 plants I grew last year.
I was wondering why you did 6.
I've given half away because I'm going to give even more away.
Right.
Everybody's going to have a Merry Christmas that I know.
So you're saying the greenhouse is helping the growth?
It's tremendous. I see a huge difference.
Wow.
I mean, it is amazing.
All right.
The difference, the greenhouse.
Shout out to the greenhouse.
How big is the greenhouse compared to your shed?
Oh, the shed's bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, the greenhouse.
By a lot?
Yeah, the shed is 20 by 10. The greenhouse is 8 by 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a small bedroom, basically.
Yeah, really small.
Yeah. It's
really 8 by 6.
Yeah, okay.
It's
that's right. Because I'm more, a little more 6 foot, so I can lie down and just
I couldn't get another plant in there. It would be too crowded.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, it is going to be a great Tuesday all around, and let's get it going as we do every day with Blitz Morning Trivia. Thick, what you got?
Well, speaking of strains, we'll try to get you hooked up with $25 to waterbeds and stuff, but a Michigan marijuana dispensary is actually offering free weed to anybody that can provide them with video or photo proof of this. All right? A Michigan dispensary going to give you free weed if you can bring a picture or a video to provide proof of what? Be the first one to text in the correct answer at 99700. We'll hook you up with that $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
Let's get that answer for Blitz Morning Trivia, Thick.
All right, the question was a Michigan marijuana dispensary is offering free weed for video or photo proof of what? They are looking for evidence of Bigfoot. So I don't know if anybody's going to give you free weed.
Probably not.
They're called Unique Cannabis up in Monroe County, Michigan. Where's that at?
I don't know.
No?
Nope.
That's right. I still hear counties in Ohio I've never heard of. So, and they're just free pre-rolls. I mean, you should be giving up like at least a good-sized bag of weed for evidence of Bigfoot,
you're bringing
right?
in evidence of Bigfoot.
And all I'm getting is a blunt?
If I bring you absolute evidence of Bigfoot, you should give me the dispensary. Like a free pre-roll. Come on.
How about we all smoke the weed, and then I'll show you a bunch of pictures on my camera roll that I think are Bigfoot.
Yeah.
think that's a great idea.
It says here cryptids, which is like the technical name of Bigfoot.
Okay, yeah.
Cryptid.
Yeah.
They are not new to the town. Since the 1960s, there have been tales of the Monroe Monster, so I guess they're looking for evidence.
Just give me enough edibles and I'll see Bigfoot. No problem.
Well, Mike Funk was the first one to text in the correct answer. He's got $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
Congratulations, Mike. We are just a few days away from Father's Day, and I saw this list on yardbarker.com, and I want you guys to put on your thinking caps, take a few guesses. The top 10 dads from movies. Top 10 dads from movies.
I mean, yeah. I have one that completely I think, outranks everyone.
And who's that?
Clark Griswold.
Okay.
Clark Griswold, vacation movies.
Got to be on the list.
Number 2 on the list.
2. All right.
2 on the list.
One that outranks Clark?
Yes.
About
for a valid reason, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
about Steve Martin from Parenthood.
Oh, that's a good guess. Gil Buckman.
Yeah.
Gil Buckman is on the list, number 7.
All right.
Oh,
Number 7.
how about the character that Liam Neeson plays?
Taken?
His daughter gets taken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Mills.
Isn't it?
Is he on the list?
The only person to beat Clark Griswold, number 1 on the list.
Yeah, I would say so.
If you transverse the world to go find your daughter, you're the number 1. You know, and not only that, you have a very special set of skills. You're number 1 on the list for sure. Any other guesses of some great movie fathers?
De Niro and Meet the Parents?
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
He's so mean, though.
Jack Burns. Yeah, Jack Burns is a good guess. Number 8 on the list.
All right.
Yeah. So far, 3 for 3, 4 for 4. Good job.
I don't know if I probably won't make the list, but I think he is, and that would be Dennis Quaid in A Day After Tomorrow. He went through that storm to get to New York to rescue his son.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. Yep. When a lot of the world-ending movies, the weather movies were coming out.
Yeah.
No, not on the list.
No?
No. Nope.
Oh,
Anything else, Kelly, can you think of?
I'm blanking.
Another good dad? You got 1 and 2. Number 3 on the list, Daniel Hillard.
Daniel Hillard.
Oh.
Dressed up just to be with his kids.
Yes, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh,
yes, good one.
Robin Williams, number 3.
Okay.
Number 4 on the list. Not only a great father, but he saved everyone on the planet. Harry Stamper.
Oh, Bruce Willis, Armageddon.
Bruce Willis, Armageddon.
Yeah.
Yep, number 5 on the list, Howard Langston. Will do anything to get his kid a toy for Christmas.
Oh, Jingle All the Way.
Jingle all the way. Absolutely. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yep. This one, not only a great movie, but also a portrayal of a real person, Chris Gardner. No? Nothing? Chris Gardner? Doing everything he can to raise his son, to get a good job, never putting the phone down before becoming a huge success. Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith.
Oh, I never saw that.
That is a great movie.
Great movie. Yeah.
Never saw that.
Great
yeah.
movie.
How about... Oh, man.
Okay, how about The Godfather? That's the father of all fathers.
Father of all fathers. Not on the list. No.
Oh.
Not on the list.
Well, I mean, yeah, that would be like putting Darth Vader on the list.
Right. The father of all fathers. He even told you, I am your father. Gil Buckman, number 7, you got. Jack Burns from Meet the Parents, you got. Number 9, kind of a deep cut, John Quincy Archibald.
Oh, is that... That's Denzel.
It is.
Yeah.
John Q.
Yeah.
Yep, taking over the hospital to try and save his son. And then finally, I mean, this is a pretty cool dad. Not in the general sense, but overall, if you think about it, pretty cool dad. Mr. Levinstein.
The only one who didn't do Stifler's mom.
That's correct. The American Pie
Pie
movies. Eugene Levy from the American Pie movies. Yep.
I was also thinking of Nicolas Cage in Con Air.
You know what's funny? Number 13 on the list.
Okay.
Cameron Poe.
All right, yeah.
If it wasn't for his awful accent,
right.
He was a great father. 100%. Make sure you celebrate your dad on Father's Day. 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right. Couple of stories for you that really are just I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like this first one, coming from Montreal, where pet owners are upset over a new sign at a local dog park. I'm going to restate that first sentence. Pet owners in Montreal are upset over a new sign at a local dog park, where the new sign says, "No barking allowed."
Wait.
Huh? What? Yeah, the sign, which prohibits dogs from barking, has sparked outrage among the community. Many dog owners feel that it's unreasonable to expect dogs not to bark in a place specifically designed for them to play and socialize.
Okay.
You think?
Okay. What? I mean, seriously.
The controversy has led to heated debates online and calls for the sign to be removed. Some argue that barking is a natural behavior for dogs. Some argue that barking is a natural behavior. Only some people are arguing that's a natural behavior. I would love to talk to the people who don't think that it's a natural behavior.
Right. So what happens if your dog barks? What are they going to do?
Are they going to arrest you? Or?
Well, they haven't really said. It just says the city officials have yet to comment on the situation, leaving the fate of the sign uncertain.
I'm just thinking, are they going to arrest you or are they going to arrest the dog? The dog's committing the crime. You going to give a ticket to the dog?
Yes. There are certain situations where a dog can bark too much. We've discussed this before. My neighbors up in Detroit, they had two dogs that just barked at everything. They would leave them outside, and they would just bark at a leaf blowing across the sidewalk.
I got a neighbor 2 doors down. Same deal.
But come on, at a dog park? That seems...
Did somebody put that up as a prank?
I don't think so.
It's kind of a good prank.
Because if so... then I think at this point the city would say, "Hey, we didn't do that."
Prank, yeah.
Right.
Otherwise,
somebody's being funny. But no, city officials haven't even commented
it's
on it.
It's and hear me out. It's like putting up an enormous, beautiful amphitheater in North Columbus, and then the people who live around there complaining because people are playing music there.
Yes. Yeah, if you're going to have a music venue, there's going to be music around. This second story is an article out of the New York Times. Apparently, as the rich get richer, they need to find new ways to spend their money. And apparently now the new way to spend money is to go to fine water tastings. Yes, fine water tastings. Take a listen.
I started Fine Waters 20 years ago, and for the next 10 years, no journalist talked to me because it was just a crazy idea. Water is just water. What are you talking about? And over the last 10 years, we see a significant change. And over the last years, especially after the pandemic, when people suddenly paid a little bit more attention, it's exploding.
I don't even know what to say.
Get to the chopper.
I mean, basically, we know there's Pellegrino and the sparkling waters that you can have. And I've had water, like in Colorado, you can go to certain areas and you can try different water because the minerals where it comes from through the rocks and things like that. Yes, it tastes different. If you've ever been camping before, you've probably had well water. It's got all the sulfur in it. It tastes like rotten eggs. It's disgusting. But there is, but to actually have, these are like, people are taking classes to become water sommeliers. Like, what the actual F?
You are bored to death.
Yeah, at some point you've got too much money.
Yeah.
Like, it's not acceptable. I don't accept that.
How much money do you need where you're going to sample? And I mean, it's like, yes. Oh, yes. That is from the northern Michigan region. I can taste just a hint of Lake Superior. So we know it is from the northern portion.
Yeah, you can have so much money that you become a joke version of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have done everything you can possibly think of that you want to do, and now you have to just do this.
We need to go rate water. And if you're into it, you can go to New York and find some of these water tasting events. Or if you really, really want to and you're that into water, you can now take classes to become a water sommelier. Have fun.
What a vacation that would be.
It's not breaking news, 99.7 The Blitz. So it's Tuesday, which means it is day number 2 of me having to drive my new route to work. Now that I'm in my new permanent home. I'm no longer living around the block with West Side Jeff, who was 93 seconds from door to door to get to work. And now it is an exhausting 11 minutes to get to work.
Oh.
However, that 11 can also become 15 because I am certain 100% I will bet my right testicle that I have found the longest light in all of Columbus.
You poor man. God gives his hardest fights to his strongest warriors.
He really does. Let me tell you, for the second morning in a row, I am sitting at the corner of Roberts and Trabue Road going, turn green! This is the longest light I have ever sat at in my life.
So tell me the intersection again.
Roberts and Trabue.
You're coming off of Roberts, turning left onto Trabue.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Or no, I'm sorry. You're coming off Old Dublin. Road.
I'm sorry.
You got what you got
I'm
to
sorry.
from Roberts.
Dublin and Trabue is the longest light,
Old
not
Dublin.
Roberts.
Old
Yes,
Dublin
Old
Road.
Dublin and Trabue. That's the longest
Right
light.
up
All
here.
right. So you take that route too, right?
I do, and so does our news director, Mark Noose. And so there are 4 people in the building right now, and 3 of us would agree that is the longest light.
Okay.
I can't believe it. It is because it didn't used to be that way. You used to pull up, and it would recognize
It'll
that you were
trigger.
there. It would
Yeah.
trigger it, and within seconds it would change. And
Yeah.
then you'd go through, and it would change right back.
The light right here just come where was it Waltham and Riverside? Where
You're coming off
Westside-
of Trabue onto Riverside.
Well, no, I'm saying where Westside Jeff lives right here.
Coming the other way on Waltham.
Yeah,
Yes.
Waltham
to
when
Riverside.
you get to Riverside, it instantly changes.
And it does when you're coming the other way, too. Once you
Right.
turn onto Trabue after 5 minutes of waiting on that light, and then you come down to Riverside to turn right, as soon as you pull up, it changes.
It changes, yes.
And it used to do that at Old Dublin and Trabue, but ever since they did all that construction over there, it stopped doing that.
Do you have a long light where you live? I'm curious to know where's the longest light in Columbus, because there's no way you can beat Old Dublin and Trabue Road.
I drive in from Johnstown, and it's so easy. I don't have any issues, but I will say that near my mom's house on the north end of Columbus, right by Westerville, if you are at Cleveland and Schrock, that is a long light. And, you always think that when the light turns green, you're going to get that left arrow first. So you're in the left turn lane. But no, your left turn light stays red while the traffic going straight goes first,
Yes.
and then your left light goes on.
Okay, yeah.
I tell you, it is a long light. I don't know if it's as long as yours, but it is. I hate sitting there.
So, going back to your spot, one thing about that light coming off of Old Dublin at Trabue is you can turn right and then shoot down McKinley, but there is a no turn on red sign at 4:00 in the morning. Not a single car on the road, and you cannot turn right at that long-lasting red light. I almost said the F word.
I basically want to get out and push the crosswalk button.
Right.
Put it in park, push the crosswalk button. It'll be quicker if I do that. Jeremy says double check me on this, but I'm pretty sure there's an ordinance that if you feel like a light is not turning or working properly, you can run it. And then explain yourself.
Oh, is that right?
To the judge later.
There is.
I don't know, Jeremy.
That sounds like that sounds like you'd save more time just waiting for the light to turn green.
Yeah. Now everybody turns right on red at that light.
Right.
At 4:00 in the morning.
I mean, believe me, I used to live by the no cop, no stop rule. But I just don't want to.
It's just not. I know. We've talked about it on the air. People say 4:00 in the morning, they break every rule out there.
Right.
Oh,
I've seen, I remember doing some shows. My old studio when I worked in Detroit was in downtown Detroit, and seeing some of the driving down there at 4:00 in the morning. I was like, it is the Wild West out here. There are Mad Max. It is no rules.
I've seen
you do whatever you want. Ricky says, I work in that area. I 100% agree with you. Yeah, again, I would just love to find a longer light. Well, actually, no, I would not love to find it. I don't want to sit at that light one bit.
I can't
imagine there being a longer light than that.
Also in Hilliard, coming off of Smiley Road onto Mill Run, it's about as long.
And it amazes me that there's just. I'm wondering why it is so long. Is there so much more traffic on Trabue going was it East and West versus Old Dublin? Because that's where Old Dublin stops, is at Tradeview.
Yeah.
So is there just they're giving more time to the heavier traveled road? I just don't understand.
But it should change overnight.
Okay, Ohio Revised Code 4511.132. You can proceed through a red light when that light is clearly malfunctioning and the intersection is clear of oncoming traffic.
Okay, now how do you prove that?
Wow.
How do you prove that?
I feel like you could say, Goose, I just moved here and I've never sat at a light this long.
It had to be broken.
Malfunctioning.
Right.
For thick, they'd be like, you've been here for how long?
Yeah, and it changed, though. But it changed. It didn't used to be that way.
I still have my Michigan driver's license.
Yeah,
I
can
can
claim
totally get out of this.
And listeners agree with you?
Yes, I'm going to say
I got other people agree with me.
Talked about it on the radio, and I was told that this was legal. I'm so in for this. All right.
I just wish
Jeremy. I think it was Jeremy who sent that in. Thank you very much.
I just wish they would take the no turn on red sign and say except for, or make it no turn on red from 6 a.m. to midnight.
Right.
That should be every no turn on red sign.
Mike says, I'll see you one Dublin in Tradeview and raise you a Sunbury light in front of Kroger going north from 161.
Oh, that's pretty long, huh?
Okay. The light in front of Kroger in Johnstown is ridiculously long at 5 a.m. with nobody pulling out of the Kroger complex.
Sounds like Kroger might be, there might be some money exchange with the
Kroger's like, keep them locked in the parking lot. They'll get hungry. They'll starve to death. They'll have to turn around and come back inside and buy some food before they die of starvation. Way to grow, Kroger. It's 99.7 The Bliss.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
U.S. Marines have been ordered into Los Angeles by the Trump administration as part of a federal strategy to manage street protests opposing immigration raids. Their mission said to be temporary until a full contingent of 4,000 National Guard troops can reach Los Angeles. State and local leaders did not request the help, and California has officially sued the Trump administration to block deployment of the National Guard and the Marines. So the situation in L.A. is not great, with the LAPD chief warning of many more arrests, stating there is zero tolerance for criminal activity masquerading as protests. Roughly 60 people have been arrested so far throughout the past few days. Video shows protesters throwing large rocks and lime scooters at police vehicles, injuring at least one federal officer and 2 local officers. Protesters have been spitting at officers. They've been seen doing that anyway, looting, throwing Molotov cocktails, setting fires. One California Highway Patrol vehicle was burned, and Waymo has suspended self-driving service because protesters are not only damaging the vehicles, they have burned several of them to a crisp. Business owners have been working to fix damage, remove graffiti, and clean up all the garbage left behind by protesters. Well, a South Korean court has fined a woman for sexual misconduct after she pulled down a colleague's pants and his underwear by accident in front of all the other coworkers. So this woman who's in her 50s has to pay $2,100 and complete 8 hours of sexual violence prevention education. The incident happened at a restaurant kitchen. The woman says it was just a prank. That it was the underwear accidentally came down. She didn't mean that. She just meant to pants the guy like a normal pantsing situation.
Right.
But prosecutors found that she had sexually humiliated this man who was in his 20s. She's in his 50s. She should know better, I guess. But yeah, prosecutors found she had sexually humiliated this man and ended up charging her with an indecent act. But they say that she had no criminal record and she was remorseful because she ended up in court, I guess, kneeling down and apologizing to both the victim and his parents. I guess they do that in South Korea.
Shouldn't it be called de-pantsing?
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess if you're pantsing someone.
Yeah, you're not putting pants on them.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You are taking the pants
call.
off, de-pantsing.
De-pantsing.
Here's the thing. I'm not like victim shaming and I'm not making excuses, but I think if anyone has worked in the restaurant industry before, it's just a little different. It's like working at a radio station or a group of radio stations. Certain things are said and done at radio stations that aren't done at a law firm.
Boy, I hope not.
I mean, I don't know. Come on, it was a de-pantsing. Yes, it was embarrassing that the underwear came to. It was a mistake. What'd you say, 8 hours of classes?
Yeah.
Like the classes, she knows what she did wrong. The classes aren't doing anything for her.
Oh, is she going to get put on a list?
It's like a construction site. Things are said at a construction site that aren't said at a doctor's office. You know, kind of.
Yes, but we have to stop that culture, Goose.
And also,
put an end to that.
No, there are, you can't go too far.
And it's an old woman in her 50s pantsing a man in his 20s. Like, at least if you're going to pants somebody of your own sex.
Right.
Like woman-on-woman crime or man-on-man crime.
If it was the 21-year-old hot hostess, then there would be no problem.
He would have had no problem with it.
Exactly. Just saying.
What are we going to do next?
Right.
All right, those are your 3 things.
While taking a quick break yesterday from unpacking boxes and hanging clothes, I was sitting on the bed, doom scrolling a little bit, and I came across a video of comedian Bert Kreischer, who has, blown up over the past many years.
Love him.
And funny enough, ever since I moved here 4 months ago, I have heard multiple times people text in or call and talk about how much I sound like or laugh like Bert Kreischer. I never heard that before ever until I moved here. And it's come up quite a few times since then. And he's okay. I like him. He's funny. I mean, when you build your name off of one joke and then expand from there, and then you turn that one joke into a full-blown movie.
Which was great.
Was it?
Oh, yes.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. Anyways, he was on a podcast, and he was talking about his travels. And you're not going to believe what he had to say about Ohio. Take a listen to what Bert Kreischer had to say.
I think Ohio's the greatest state in the union, and I argue that because I've traveled everywhere. Its topography is gorgeous. It is the perfect political place to be, where they get your personality, but they welcome everyone, but they're not lunatics. And you get weather, you get on the water. You've got literally no state has the big cities that Ohio has. They've got big cities that are like. I think it's the best state in the union, in my opinion.
The Erie Coast, man. It's the forgotten coastline in America.
I honest to God think that might be the first time I've ever heard anyone say Ohio's the best.
Yeah, same here.
Ohio is the best state in the union. I'm telling you, it is. But it's gorgeous. But Ohio's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. Go to Butler, Ohio.
Is this a bit?
Rolling hills. No, I swear to God.
Is this a bit?
Wow!
Listen to that stamp of approval from a person who has traveled the entire world, spent years traveling the country as a comedian, and he thinks Ohio is just the best state in the union.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, look at Dave Chappelle. I mean, he agrees.
Yes, he does.
It is a great place to be.
Let me tell you, and I'll be the first to admit, 100% honesty here, as someone who grew up in Michigan, as someone who is a diehard Michigan fan, I have lost count of the amount of times where I have said, if Florida is the peen of the United States, then Ohio is the armpit. It's kind of in that perfect spot.
Yeah, I've heard that
right
before.
There. And as a Michigan fan, sure, I dogged on Ohio all the time. I used to say Cedar Point, and that's it. Because if you're from Detroit, that's what we used to do. You take the 2-hour drive to Cedar Point.
Greatest playground in the world.
Oh, 100%. But let me tell you, after spending some time here, because it was the end of last summer where I went to Cincinnati for the first time. Nora had a friend celebrating a birthday who lives there, and we went to Cincinnati for the first time. Fell in love with Cincinnati. I had never been to Columbus before I came here and met you two and auditioned for the show and then moved here in February. Love Columbus. Cleveland I've been to before. Haven't been there in a while. When I was there back in, 2001, it was a really cool place. I've heard it's changed since then, but still.
No, Cleveland's amazing. It's
still amazing.
Absolutely cool place to be.
Yeah. What was it, the Flats?
Yeah.
Where they had all the bars and restaurants? I heard that's not the Flats anymore. Like, I've heard that area is changed.
So you're all in on Ohio?
I am all in on Ohio.
OH!
No, hell no. No, that ain't going to happen.
You don't have to go that far, though, to get to, like, Rolling Hills. If you go out to Granville and where Denison University is, it's absolutely spectacular out there in Licking County, down in southern Ohio and Hocking Hills. It is so beautiful. There are such gorgeous places in Ohio to be. And I don't spend very much time in western Ohio, but apparently it's super cool.
Yeah.
I just haven't been there that much. Like north, northwest, and west. I just am not there. But it's supposedly like awesome. They're super neat, like architecture. It's clean. It's beautiful.
Well, and I've seen some stuff online. Some of the places you can visit with the treetop cabins and things like that they have in places of Ohio. But as a city folk, as someone who loves exploring and eating food and culture and going to shows, like I said, Cincinnati, Columbus, I absolutely fell in love with it. Yeah. Absolutely fell in love with it. So I have to agree with Bert. There you go, a little stamp of approval from Bert Kreischer.
How about
Way
that?
to go, Ohio.
And Goose.
Good
I
job.
love it.
Yes, because my opinion counts.
It does.
Okay. 997 The Blitz. Hey, if you want to go see Zach Sabbath, he's going to be with special guest Bonfire in Dark Chapel at Newport Music Hall on Sunday, November 16th. Tickets on sale now at AXS.com. Do they call it AXS? They call it Axis.
It's AXS.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of which, before we get to that, Black Sabbath, of course, having their final concert coming up July 5th from Birmingham, England. They're going to stream it worldwide, as Tess told us yesterday during the Rock Rundown. If you want to, $29.99, you can check it out and stream it. Fans can also purchase a live stream ticket bundled with a collectible T-shirt for $24.98. So it is going to be 2 hours behind the actual start time of the show, but you'll be able to check it out at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on July 5th. And then you'll also be able to replay it for 48 hours, of course, talking about Ozzy's last show. But then you've got all kinds of people performing. Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Tool, Slayer, Pantera, Alice in Chains, Anthrax, a whole bunch more as well. So you'll be able to do that. Now, if you want to see Zach Sabbath perform, we have your chance to do so, as we are going to celebrate the Sabbath for tickets. Very simple. I have got a list here of holidays. Some of these holidays are real. Some of these holidays I have completely made up. And if you can determine which ones are real versus which ones are fake, we'll give you tickets for Zach Sabbath. Because who doesn't like to celebrate the Sabbath? Just saying. 800-821-9970 if you would like to win your tickets. Like, I'll give you a tester question, Kelly.
All right.
Let's see. Salami Day.
Oh, no. Oh, come on.
Salami Day. Are you celebrating the Sabbath or not? Is that real or fake?
I think it's real.
That is a real holiday.
National Salami Day.
Yep. Sometimes you just got to get that salami right in your mouth. Depending on where you go, it can be delicious or it can be pretty disgusting. Am I wrong?
No, not at all.
Depending on where you get your salami, it can be really good in your mouth or it can be really awful.
Absolutely.
Let's get ourselves a contestant. Try and give away some Zach Sabbath tickets. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
This is Quentin. How you doing, guys?
Good, Quentin. Welcome to the show. Thanks for playing. Your chance to win some Zach Sabbath tickets. I'm going to give you a holiday, and you have to tell me whether or not you're celebrating the Sabbath or not. Is it a real holiday or is it not? We'll see how good you do and see if we can get you hooked up with some tickets. First holiday, Soup Swap Day. Soup Swap Day. Are you celebrating the Sabbath or not?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is incorrect. That is a real holiday. It's a real holiday in January where you get together and you swap soups. So, if it's cold outside, you need some soup, but you don't want to make a whole bunch of different soup. And you can get sick of one soup if you make too much of it. I remember one time I made chicken and rice soup and I added too much rice and it just sucked all the broth out.
Oh, yeah.
So all I had was a bunch of chicken and a bunch of swollen rice. And I was like, wait, this is like a bowl. This isn't soup. All right, sorry. All right, Quentin. Here we go.
You're out of the soup exchange.
Yes, out of the soup exchange. Here we go. Celebrating the Sabbath or not. Sniff your big toenail day. Are you celebrating the Sabbath or not?
No.
No, you're not celebrating the Sabbath on that one. That is not a real holiday. But for those of us that do sniff our big toenails, or sometimes we like to celebrate.
You are literally the only person in the known universe who celebrates that.
That is not true
at all. It absolutely is true.
Text in 99700 if you sniff your toenail.
I've never heard of this in my entire life until you walked into my life.
Yeah, we're here, Quentin.
People
Quentin,
have...
quiet down, Quentin. We're arguing here.
The adults are talking. Quentin, hold on. You've never gone... Oh, my God. And then sniffed it twice or three times. People enjoy the smell of their own body. People absolutely enjoy the smell of their own stink. Without a doubt.
Why does your big toe smell so bad is what I'm wondering.
Not that it smells awful. I'm just saying.
It just has a scent.
Toe. Yeah, the big toe. Of course, your big toe has a smell.
Is it a health test of some sort?
Yes.
Yeah,
like
I
if it
do
stinks,
feel
you got a problem?
I feel like you might be diabetic or something.
Is your foot dying? Do you have gangrene right now in your foot? All right, sorry. Back to the game, Quentin. All right, here we go. Cinco de Marcho. Cinco de Marcho.
No.
You celebrating the Sabbath or not?
That's Sabbath holiday.
No, it is. It is a real holiday.
What?
On the 5th of March. It is Cinco de Marcho.
Why?
I don't know why, but it's a real holiday. I'm just saying. All right, let's do one more. Happy Poop Shoot Day. Happy Poop Shoot Day. Are you celebrating the Sabbath or not?
That is not it.
What's that?
Do what?
Is that in, are you celebrating the Sabbath? Happy Poop Shoot Day?
No, you are not.
No, that is a fake holiday. Did you say thank God?
Yes, I did.
Thank God that is not a real holiday.
Yes.
You don't want to celebrate your poop shoot?
No.
No? Okay.
It's just not necessary.
Quentin, let's get you hooked up with Zach Sabbath tickets, okay? Congratulations. You're going to be there on November 16th at Newport Music Hall enjoying Zach Sabbath, Bonfire, and Dark Chapel. Congratulations, 99.7 The Blitz.
Thanks, Goose.
All right, so school's out, so there's a good chance the kids are at home. They're not in the car with you as you're getting ready to drop them off at the drop-off line, so we can speak freely and openly with the kids not around.
Yes.
Because I'll admit, I used to joke about this on stage. This was kind of my running jokes when I did stand-up. But there is some truth to it. Because I'll also be the first to admit that I would bet that me and my two other siblings are three of the most diverse siblings you could possibly have. My sister and I have definitely have some personality traits that are similar. My brother happens to be adopted, and there's definitely some nature versus nurture in there, biological versus what happened in the household sort of thing. But I can safely say I was my mom's favorite.
Were you the baby?
I was the baby.
Ah.
I was the baby. But my mom and I had a certain connection that we would laugh a lot together. I was the easiest to talk to as opposed to my other two siblings. I know it. I know for a fact that I was the favorite. And I think I don't know if I necessarily want to use the word favorite, but I think that if you have more than one child, there's definitely one you have a stronger opinion they'll be able to take care of you when you're older. Let me put it that way.
Okay, well that's
the one you can rely on. The sibling you can rely on versus the one you can't. Kelly, do you think that you were the favorite?
I don't think I wasn't the I honestly don't know. My parents treated us so evenly.
Okay.
Unless they were treating somebody else so much as they were so much more special that I just didn't pick up on
behind the scenes.
I'm sure that personality-wise, you get along differently with each child.
Right. Yeah.
So I would imagine there are some children you love equally, but one is more challenging than the other. So that you would prefer to spend time with one child over another. But I never felt it. I never felt like there was a favorite. And I have two younger sisters.
And I think deep down parents get good at that. Not that you don't like one of your other children, but you definitely just kind of lean one way. You know.
Yeah.
You're not disrespecting the other child.
Yeah.
You're not, giving this child, steak and lobster, and this child's eating, beans and weenies. I'm not saying that, but deep down, I'm very curious. 800-821-9970. You can remain completely anonymous, or you can choose a text. Do you have a favorite, or do you lean one way? Do you know that one of these kids is probably going to be more of a success than the other?
That, yes. I mean, that's not picking a favorite. But you know which one's the smartest, which one's,
Right.
Gonna
But
be the
I'm
best.
not saying I was the smartest. I was definitely the funniest. But, not,
obviously.
not the smartest.
Okay.
Not the smartest.
Right.
And I brought my own problems and stresses to my parents for sure. I was not a terrible teenager. I wasn't a great teenager. Definitely brought on my own share of stresses. But in the long run, definitely had the edge on the older two. And I'm sure maybe being the baby had something to do with that. I was just the cute little savior of the family. 800-821-9970. Blitz, good morning. We can keep this completely anonymous if you can turn your radio down for me. Do you think that, do you lean one way when it comes to your children?
I was just going to say, I think my parents leaned that one. I'm the black sheep. I got so much damn trouble, I'm not even in the freaking wheel.
Okay. All right, so at least you know that you caused a bit of trouble, and your parents might have been a little frustrated with you growing up.
Hell yeah. I dropped my kids off at my dad's house to go to the bar, and he said, stay out of jail, and I had a hell of a time staying out.
Oh yeah. That'll cause some problems.
Oh, so not just as a kid.
That'll be some bumps in the road for sure. We appreciate the call.
Even in adult world.
Let's see. Oh, Jay says, we've talked about this before. Okay. Take my 3 oldest siblings. Okay, we're all grown. All love the same, but in a different way. Okay.
Yeah, because they're all different personalities and different interests. I get that.
9228 says, I was the only child and I was definitely not the favorite.
I can relate.
Whoops.
I can relate.
Whoops.
At least till I was 9. I was the only child.
Right. 800-821-9970 or 99700. Would love to just see where parents lean on this.
Bobby's interesting. He says, I'm not the favorite, but I was depended on the most.
Oh, see?
That's the worst of all worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to be the one, the leader, the responsible one. I know I can depend on you, but I said what I love.
I love this one over here. Yeah, absolutely. It's 997 The Blitz. All right, I was just curious. In the deepest, darkest realms of parenthood, you have to, I think, admit that sometimes, again, I don't want to use the word favorite, but you definitely lean one way or another. You might get along better with one of your children than the others. More in common. Whether it's more in common, or maybe you're both hard-headed, so you butt heads a lot. So it's not your favorite child because they frustrate you so much because you're like, damn it, you're just like me, and I can't handle the frustration, because that happens too. So I wanted to know, deep down, do you have a favorite? Were you the favorite? I love this. Where did he go? I want to find it. Oh, Justin says, just like college football rankings, each week I give my rankings on who my favorite is. We have 3 kids, 5, 3, and 1. That's genius.
Okay, so I love that as a bit with your kids. Like, hey, you're dropping in the rankings fast, buddy.
I think you should sit them down every Tuesday with your big board.
Yes.
And do an unveiling.
Yes.
Coming at number 3 this week.
Do love it.
Jason, the 2-year-old.
New kid,
you better quit
coach's
throwing
poll.
your food on the ground because it's really getting old. Coming in at number 2 this week, the 5-year-old Stephanie. Sorry, Steph, you're a real bitch this week. You got to stop with the temper tantrums. You fell out of the top spot. Every week, you just sit them down every Tuesday and do your ranking reveals.
Heidi says, I'm 27 today. Well, happy birthday, Heidi. And she says, I'm the youngest of 3, and I got away with a lot more, probably because I learned from my siblings' mistakes. But I was also kind of the good child, so I was most likely granted leniency.
I definitely think I got away with more as the youngest for a couple reasons. One, because there was such a gap. I mean, my brother's 13 years older than I am. My sister's 16 years older than I am. So basically, I was almost like an only child. By the time I was, my brother helped raise me with my mom working and doing the things. But by the time I was 5, he was at college. He was out of the house. I was the only one in the house.
Yeah.
So I definitely think I got away with some stuff. And my dad was pretty lenient and loosey-goosey anyways. So that helped with the rule breaking. My father was never a rule follower growing up. So it's got the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree sort of thing.
Well, he needed time to focus on his clowning.
That too. Yes.
So
kids got to raise themselves. Be a professional clown, then, you got to put in the work.
1071 says, my older brother was special forces. My little brother is a literal rocket scientist. I dropped out of college. Definitely not the favorite.
See?
I feel like he's the personality hire, though. It's like, you've got the personality here because the other guys are show-offs, right?
The middle kid, right? Is that what you said?
You say the middle or the youngest?
Yeah.
And see, that's where I was going with. This person kind of fits in where I fit in. It's saying the diversity of the siblings, because my sister, unfortunately, growing up pretty much my entire life, spent a lot of time in jail, had some drug issues that, been sober now for a while, but growing up, it was real rough with her in and out of jail. And then my brother being my brother and doing what he did and working in the entertainment industry and being the ruler of the, basically
like
running
the
Broadway.
Most successful you could ever be on Broadway.
Exactly.
That's your brother.
Exactly. And then there was me. I was just kind of the
comedian.
Yeah, whatever,
You're the jokester.
Exactly. So, you have one thick?
Doug said I was the middle kid. Nobody gave a crap about me, and I hear that about middle kids a lot.
I hear that, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Our three kids are all just so different from each other, but they're all amazing.
Did you find that, and I haven't looked it up yet, but, you read the parenting books, and they kind of give personalities to each kid. Did you find that your first kid was more stringent, like a rule follower, and then the middle kid was forgotten about, or the youngest kid was babied or gotten away with a bunch of stuff? Do you remember if they fell into the supposed rankings at all?
That's the thing. I have no idea how, but we got so lucky. Our kids never got in trouble. They never did just a couple little things, but just never got in trouble.
Never got in trouble?
No,
Maybe it's
never
from
grounded.
The harsh beatings you passed out?
Never had to touch my kids, but never had to ground them ever.
Really?
Ever.
Oh, good.
I don't know why. We just got lucky.
You never sent them out to the backyard to pick their own switch?
No, but I picked mine own.
Oh, man. That was the worst. I remember one time I thought I got it over on my father because I got sent out to pick my own switch, and I found the log in the backyard, so I just rolled it up to his feet, and I was like,
"Use this one, big boy."
Oh, you definitely were the jokester.
I was like, "Go ahead. You're gonna pick it up and swing it. Feel free."
It was your switch.
He was like, okay. He was like, all right, little guy, you got me. But then he told me I had to go get the steaks from the freezer downstairs, and then he just rolled that son of a bitch down the stairs after me.
No, he did not.
No, he didn't. 997 Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
Hilliard police investigating a fraud and identity theft case involving a former employee of an addiction treatment center accused of selling patients' private data on the dark web. Police have identified 240 victims across the country so far, many of them from Central Ohio, and believe there may be more. The suspect was an employee at Evoke Wellness until June of last year, and while working at the center, he is accused of stealing sensitive patient information, including social security numbers, selling it all on the dark web to people who reportedly use that information to buy vehicles, rack up credit charges at hotels and restaurants, and buy cryptocurrency. The suspect is facing charges and is expected to be charged with more. If you think you may be a victim, you're asked to contact Hilliard Police. Well, the suspect in Sunday night's live stream shooting on the Las Vegas Strip that left 2 people dead is in custody. Vegas police say 41-year-old Manuel Ruiz turned himself in today. And the shooting, which we talked about yesterday, happened near the Bellagio fountains with the video showing a gunman firing shots during a confrontation. That confrontation was reportedly between 2 YouTubers who had some sort of feud on social media. Well, the Labubu craze is at a peak right now. Product is scarce, there are fights, tons of counterfeits, and people getting robbed left and right for their little plush keychains. But first things first, what is a Labubu? The Labubu was first introduced 10 years ago in a Chinese picture book called The Monster Trilogy. The Labubus are tiny elvish creatures with 9 serrated teeth and pointy ears. And of course, we've got plenty of merch now based on this Chinese picture book. The most popular of which are these Labubu keychains. They have become a global sensation. They're little plush keychains, and they now dangle off the luxury handbags of TikTok influencers and the backpacks of high school kids. Labubus are sold in blind boxes, so you don't know which one you're getting. And they cost between $21 and $27 a piece if you're lucky enough to get it from the store that sells it, Pop Mart. But resellers, of course, are jacking up the prices. eBay, StockX, all, you can get them for $3,500 for some of the more rare ones. As for the fakes, people are calling the fakes not Labubus, but Lafufus. And you can tell because they don't have the right number of teeth. They have crooked smiles. They're slightly off color. But
Good God.
But they're out there, and people are accidentally buying them, thinking they're real Labubus. So there are large-scale thefts of entire shipments of these.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Into,
Black market,
yeah.
I bet, yeah.
So
But
stupid.
people are getting them stolen right off their bags. And in fact, these Labubus are so important to their owners that some people traveling abroad have reported that they included their Labubus in their travel insurance, just in case. That's how often they're getting ripped off people's bags.
I just saw this article because I didn't know what they were. I had to Google them. Labubu human-sized figure sells for over $193,000 at Beijing auction.
Wow. It's nuts. Some people believe they have gotten cursed Labubus. In fact, one person said they bought one and immediately got into a car accident. All right. After that, they started experiencing health issues, which they say nearly instantly resolved when they threw out their Labubu. So there's a plenty of lore now with these things.
No, see, they got another knockoff. That was the Lavudu.
Yeah, Lavudu.
Yes. That's what that was.
Another
Exactly.
obsession, and this too shall
Yes.
pass.
So if you hear people talking about their Labubus, now you know.
I just love the ones with the fake smiles and not amount of right teeth.
Yes, exactly.
Like, are you a Labubu? No, total knockoff.
I like the short bus.
Apparently, new collections drop every Thursday on Pop Mart. You can go to popmart.com. We do not have a Pop Mart anywhere in Ohio. They do have a few up in Michigan. They have one in Chicago, some
Where
in
they line
Pennsylvania.
up for hours.
They line up for hours to get one of these, and they sell out within seconds. There are massive... It's chaos, and there have been so many fights over these things. It's nuts.
Do you think stuff like this happens because everybody's doing this and people, if they don't get one, they feel left out? Is that all it is?
I do think maybe, but also it's just this created, manufacturer-created shortage. Like, they don't produce enough. So they're they're hard
Smart.
to come by.
I mean, look, no different than the Beanie Babies.
Yep.
Or
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Well, I was going to say everyone can kiss our ass because you didn't have Cabbage Patch like we did.
Yeah.
And that was the best one
That
of them
was
all.
nuts, yeah.
That was by far the best one of them all. So all these others are just trying to knock off Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah.
You didn't have what we had, and you never will.
All right. Those are your three things.
All right, look, we already know that men are pretty simple creatures. You give them some food, and you show them some side boob, and they're happy. That's about it. It all revolves around just a small handful of things. Sure, it differs a little bit man to man. Like the excitement and joy that I feel knowing that I'm going to hit the golf course later brings me so much happiness.
Yes.
Same thing for you. If you know you're going to hit the lake on this weekend, you can't wait.
Yep.
Might just be the day that I hit another hole-in-one. Might be the day that you catch your biggest bass ever.
Yep.
But when it comes down to it, there are a handful of things, and sex being one of them. But what we spend money on is mind-blowing to me because I can't fathom ever doing this. This brings me zero joy. It doesn't bring me any closer. Don't get me wrong. This person is attractive. This is a story that we're following up from last week because Sydney Sweeney, the hot new thing in Hollywood right now, very attractive young lady, actress, well endowed in certain areas. Well, she made an announcement last week, or I don't know, 10 days ago, that she was teaming up with Old Spice. Was it?
Yeah.
No,
something
it's Dr. Squatch.
Dr. Squatch. That's right.
it.
Yeah, Dr. Squatch. And they decided to make, because she was an endorser for them, and they took it a step further, and they said, you know what? We're bringing you Sydney Sweeney, and we are making Dr. Squatch soap from her dirty bathwater. Literally, she got in a bath, they saved all the water, and they made bars of soap out of that water.
Here's what I don't like about it, and I know you've got more to the story, but, people are in those weird parasocial relationships with people that they don't know, but they feel like they're connected with in some way. And this is another way to make some weirdo feel very strangely connected to Sydney Sweeney. I don't like it. Now, she's behind it. She's all in, baby. So it's her doing, but I'm like, is that... You can do what you want. Make your money however you want. But it feels like semi-dangerous when you're dealing with people who may not be, like, mentally stable in a way.
If you're buying soap from some actress's dirty bathwater, that seems a little weird. But at the same time, how many women out there are making money off of selling feet pics?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or selling old socks or other worn pieces of garments that they have attached, touching their body.
It's just like you are allowing strangers to be dangerously close in concept to your naked body.
Yes, absolutely. And I bring all of this up because the soap is sold out.
My gosh. Wow.
In less than a week, all of Sydney Sweeney's dirty bathwater soap from Dr. Squatch is sold out. So much so, she said, I'm getting in a bigger bathtub so we have more water for more soap.
And they said that they use just like like a few drops per bar.
Per bar, yeah.
So it's not like you're awash in dirty Sydney Sweeney bathwater.
Yeah, it's not like the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Right up there with the Labubu to me.
How much are they spending on the soap? How expensive is the soap? And is it good soap anyways? Does Dr. Squatch make good products? I mean, I've seen them advertise. I know they advertise as a manly man soap if you want to smell like leather and pine. But
yeah, I don't know.
How much are they?
It was $8 a bar
for the Sydney Sweeney soap.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Sydney's Bathwater Bliss, it's called.
So what are we getting it for on StockX?
Oh, right. Yeah, are they going to resell it for how much? If you
it's going for $2,000 on eBay right now.
It is not.
Yes. Yep.
I say $1,600 on StockX.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's no way you're spending $2,000 on a bar soap.
And if you buy it, you get 10% off a Labubu.
Okay, no. This is ridiculous. But if you missed out, I'm so sorry. They will have another run coming up soon. Spend your $8 on something else. Come on.
There's a fishing lure I would buy over that.
Right, absolutely, 100%. I'll get a sleeve of golf balls.
There you go.
It's 997 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, let's start the not so breaking news in a new way, Kelly. I'm going to give you a choose your own adventure style story.
Okay.
All right. Kelly, let's take a trip to San Francisco. Do you choose to go to San Francisco or do you choose to stay home?
Who's taking care of my dog?
Okay, you're making this more difficult than it has to be.
I mean, I'll go to San Francisco.
Okay,
I've never
great.
seen it.
Great,
Yeah.
exactly. Never been to San Francisco.
Yeah.
You're in San Francisco. We're in San Francisco, and I say, you know what we should do, Kelly? I've heard they've got some great hiking around San Francisco.
Yeah.
Let's go for a hike in San Francisco.
Into it.
You want to go for a hike? You want to stay in the
100%.
hotel room? You
I
want to go for a
wanna
hike?
go for a
Great.
hike.
All right. So we're looking at places to hike, and we find a couple places, and we find this hiking trail, and it's at Dead Man's Point. Do you want to go to Dead Man's Point, or do you want to hike somewhere else?
I want to go to Dead Man's Point.
Perfect. We're going to Dead Man's Point. So we're hiking on Dead Man's Point. We find this perfect spot. We should take a picture.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to do it for the gram? So we're going to take a picture at Dead Man's Point. Do you want to stand over here and take a picture, or do you want to say, F it, no, let's just keep hiking?
I want to take the picture.
100% we want to take the picture. And then somehow, oh no, I dropped my phone off of Dead Man's Point.
Oh.
Now here's the question, Kelly. Mm-hmm. Do you want to try and go get the phones down off the bottom of Dead Man's Point? Or do you want to say, we should probably chalk it up to a lost phone?
Yeah, I mean, I have an iPhone 11, man, so that thing's ready to go at any minute.
You're right.
Any minute, so I'm just leaving it.
You're leaving it.
That's where my adventure stops.
That would be the right choice. But no, not for these two tourists. They decided, oh, damn, we dropped our phone off at Dead Man's Point. You know what the good thing to do is? Let's try and get to the bottom of Dead Man's Point. Because who knows why it's called Dead Man's Point? Sure enough, they worked their way down the cliffside of Dead Man's Point, where they then got stuck and had to be rescued because, well, it's a very steep climb back up Dead Man's Point. So the San Francisco Cliff Rescue Unit, apparently this happens enough where they need a cliff rescue unit, had to send out the helicopters where then they were airlifted from the side of Dead Man's Point where they were stuck. Avoid Dead Man's Point. Or if you drop your phone, don't try to get to the bottom of Dead Man's Point.
I know it's tempting because nobody thinks they're going to die.
Right. They're like, oh, Dead Man's Point. They didn't really name it Dead Man's Point because dead men die at the point, or people die at Dead Man's Point. We can do this.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
You know, they have people who die every year during guided tours at the Grand Canyon. So I think I'm going to,
avoid Dead Man's Point.
Avoid Dead Man's Point.
Yep. Thankfully, both people were uninjured, but both were cited and ticketed. And then San Francisco Fire advises people to stay on trails and follow postage signage. They've got signage up for a reason.
Right.
I'm just saying. Here's another sign: no sex in the champagne room. This is a story coming out of Clearwater, Florida. Yes, we've got another WTF. What the Florida? A 20-year-old man got arrested after calling 911 and said the stripper wouldn't give him sex. Yep, it happened at Oz's Gentlemen's Club. The gentleman is from Saudi Arabia, where I don't think they have strip clubs. So this might have been a new experience for him. He probably wasn't familiar with how they do things. He actually called 911 saying, hey, I requested sex from one of the staff members and I gave them $300. They took me to the private room, but they didn't give it up. Now, $300 is the price of a 30-minute VIP champagne room package. However, as Chris Rock told us back in 99, there's no sex in the champagne room.
No matter what you think of what I'm saying, remember this one thing. There is no sex in the champagne room.
That's right. It ain't happening. Here's the funny thing. He was actually still complaining and on the phone with the 911 operator when the cops got there. He was still complaining.
That guy was hot.
You don't understand. I paid her $300. I was told there was sex in the champagne room.
See, I don't doubt that, though. He probably was told that. And then he coughed up the $300. And then, most people know you're just going to eat that.
Right.
That's gone. But he decided to involve the police.
Which is interesting because he paid the $300 because he wanted to eat that. And it just didn't work out that way at all. The police said he did smell like booze and he was slurring his words. He had just turned 21 last week.
Oh, 21. Oh, you
Good
dummy.
Start.
Yeah.
Good start.
He hasn't learned the rules of the road yet. He'll get there eventually. I mean, a week into your 21st year. Yeah, he was arrested for misusing 911 and released on $500 bail that same day. And he has learned his lesson. There is no sex in the champagne room. That's your not-so-breaking news, 99.7 The Blitz. Unofficial Galaxies is open now at Kosai, running through September 1st. It's one of the largest Star Wars collections, fan collections in the world, bringing the saga to life with iconic characters, props, ships, costumes, all of it. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to want to check it out. Not to mention all the other things that Kosai has to offer, and we've got a 4-pack of tickets to give away right now. 800-821-9970. In fact, we need 2 people who want to possibly win a 4-pack of tickets because it's another Goose versus Kelly challenge.
Uh-oh.
And, boy, I need a win. This is getting ugly, and I am not happy about it at all. 9-12-2 right now is the record, with Kelly having the 12 wins, me having 9. We have 2 ties.
It's pretty close.
That's not close. That is not good. That's not a good winning record. I think both of us would be mad at our teams if we had a 9-12-2 record.
But it's so easily overcomable.
Well,
you need 2 wins and you're right on my heels.
Then we need to start that today. And so we need 2 representatives at 800-821-9970. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
It's Randy.
Randy. All right, Randy, your choice. Do you want to be represented by Kelly or Goose?
Go Kelly.
Kelly.
Yes, Randy.
All
Woo,
right.
woo.
Randy and Kelly. Let's find my teammate. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this? Hello, Blitz.
Hello. It's Dave.
Dave. All right, Dave. since you called in second, you are going to be with me. We are playing opposite movie titles.
Yes.
Vic has a list. We're going to go back and forth taking a guess. He's going to give us a movie title, but it's going to be the opposite. It'll be like the first Ground Runner. And then you would say...
Last...
Airbender.
Okay.
No, I was going to say Last Skywalker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't
now,
know.
see, so understand, not every word has a perfect opposite, but
Right.
you know,
We got the idea.
they work as antonyms. So
Yeah.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Bottom knife.
Top fork.
Nope.
No.
You know a movie named Top Fork?
Yeah.
Is there really? No.
Top Gun?
Yes. Bottom knife, Top Gun.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because
But with that, you could go like...
what? Bottom disarmament?
Bottom disarmament.
I mean, seriously, you know what I mean? So you get it.
That's what Nora says to me some nights. She's like, relax. Bottom disarmament. Just relax. Disarm your bottom. It'll be fine. Sorry, Kelly doesn't find that nearly as funny as we do.
I don't know if she didn't get it, but I know she did. Because what
All
you
right.
said.
You can't tell with the look of disapproval on my face.
Oh, I can definitely tell. That was good.
All right. All right, here we go. Opposite movie titles. Now, we're only going back and forth, so we don't have to fight each other on this one.
Yeah.
You'll get yours, I'll get mine.
I'll give you
Okay.
like 5 seconds. I think
Okay.
that should be good.
All
5
right.
seconds, that's a lot of time.
Who would like to go first? Anybody?
Go ahead, Goose.
Oh, thank you so much. Since I'm losing.
Well,
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Goose.
Here we go.
First one here. River Apartment. River Apartment.
The Lake House.
Kelly, chance to steal?
River Apartment. I would have said Lake House, too. Isn't that a movie?
Isn't that the Keanu Reeves one with Sandra Bullock and they
Okay,
exchange
wait a
letters?
minute.
No?
River Apartment would be like, I'm just going to say Lake Condominium. Man, what is
River
it?
Apartment would be Roadhouse.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
All right, is this game going to make me mad?
Only if you lose.
Only if I let it.
If you,
I have
if you
control
just
over
said
my
street,
emotions.
If you just said street apartment, I would have gotten it.
Yeah.
Okay. But a
That's
street
okay.
is a road.
Yeah, but not really.
Well, river definitely isn't.
Or boulevard apartment.
All right. Kelly, here's yours.
Okay.
We're going to argue every single one.
I know, and
I
I
know, we
love
are.
it. I know, I love it.
I'm taking a deep breath and I'm in control of my emotions. Hold on.
All right, Kelly.
Okay, go on.
Mercy for the Jocks. Mercy for the Jocks.
Okay, mercy, judgment. What? Judgment. Mercy for the Jocks. Oh! Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's good figuring that one out. I think you got a lot longer than 5 seconds, but okay. That's
Oh,
fine.
we're only doing 5 seconds?
That's what he said.
I said I'll give you about
That's
5
what the
seconds.
game master
About,
said.
he said about 5. So
Okay.
That was probably about 15.
That's a good way to work through that.
You get 15
I
on
won't
this
rush
one.
you
Okay.
either. I won't
Yeah.
rush you
All
either. That one was a little harder than some of the other ones. All right, here you go. Foreign Ugly. Foreign Ugly.
American Beauty.
Yes.
Okay. I need
I'm
15
sorry, you're clapping
seconds.
for yourself.
I need 15
I'll
seconds.
Yay.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
All right, Kelly, here's yours. Snoring in New York.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on. All right.
All right, Goose. Kung Fu Adult.
Oh, Karate Kid. Okay, Karate Kid.
That's good.
I almost said Kung Fu Panda, but that's not opposite.
Kelly, yours is The Dream After Thanksgiving.
The Night Before Christmas. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Dang it.
Double answer? Double answer is correct?
It is.
I don't
It
know
is.
about that.
It really
I don't
is.
know about that.
Judges have spoken.
That's iffy. That's iffy.
All right, Goose.
What is Tennessee? Wait, Alex, I didn't mean that. What is Ohio? Like, that's not how that game works.
I'll let you sort this one out in your head. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
The dinner disassociation.
The Breakfast Club.
Oh,
come on, figure that out. Come on, figure that out.
I like your attitude over there. I truly don't.
Just saying, some of
except when I do it for you.
Some of us are getting it.
His.
Some of us are getting it quick with one answer. Some of us are taking 15 seconds and multiple guesses. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right, we're tied at 3. Kelly?
Quiet in the room. Yes.
Peaceful cow.
Peaceful cow?
Yes.
Okay.
Peaceful cow. Goose knows it.
Peaceful cow?
He's dancing over here.
Ooh.
Don't look at him. Thanks. Before your time runs out.
Peaceful cow is War Pigs.
That's a great guess.
Thank you. It is a song.
Oh, shoot. That's exactly what I was going to say.
War Pigs?
That's exactly why I was dancing.
Oh, no, that's not it.
That's exactly why I was dancing. All right, wait, but I
know.
That's what I was going to say.
I know.
Peaceful cows is... Oh, war dogs.
Raging Bull.
Raging Bull.
Oh, Peaceful Cow, Raging Bull. Okay.
All right, Goose, chance to take the lead.
Okay.
Reliance Night. Reliance Night.
Reliance. What's the opposite of reliance? You don't rely on someone. So that's...
Now Kelly's
Stop dancing! Reliance Night? Is what you said? Reliance Night.
Yes.
So it's Reliance is...
Need an answer.
Unreliable Days.
What is it, Kelly?
Independence Day. Woo!
Damn it. Oh, man. And with that, Kelly is up 4-3, and it's her turn.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Are you ready, Kelly?
I'm ready.
Dull repair. Dull repair.
Sharp object, sharp pieces, sharp repair.
Dull repair.
All I can think of is sharp objects. That's all I can think of. I'll have to stand with it because Goose will call me out if I.
Yep.
Dull repair.
Chance to steal. Dull repair.
Dull repair.
Again, these are all big movie titles.
The Big Fix.
Point Break.
Oh. BS.
All right, but it's your turn, Goose. Chance to tie it.
Here we go.
Homely and the Angel.
Homely and the Angel.
Yes.
The Devil Wears Prada.
Chance to win it, Kelly. Homely and the Angel.
Homely, beautiful. Devil.
Homely and the Angel.
Pretty little.
How much time are you going to give her?
I don't know.
Beauty and the Beast.
No, that would no.
No.
All right, no, I don't know about that. I think we're calling this one a draw.
But I'm ahead.
4-3.
All right, give me one more. I'll tie it up, and then we'll give them both tickets.
But
it's her turn.
Oh, well, crap. Fine.
Kelly. Noise of the Wolves.
Quiet. Noise.
Come on, win this. Get this over with.
Quiet. All quiet on the Western Front. That's it.
Any idea, Goose? We're gonna get.
Noise.
We'll end it in a tie, but I want to see if you can.
Noise
of the Wolves.
Noise of the Wolves. Silence of the Lambs.
It is a tie.
It's a tie.
It is a
I
tie.
was going to say Quiet of the Cats, but that wasn't it.
That was good. I can hand that to you.
Randy, Dave, we're going to hook you both up because that game drug on way too long.
was
So,
painful.
you know what? You're both going to get tickets for Unofficial Galaxies at COSI, all right? You're going to get a 4-pack, actually, for both of you, okay?
Awesome.
All right, congratulations. You hang on 1 second. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
The U.S. military will temporarily deploy about 700 Marines to Los Angeles as part of a federal strategy to manage protests opposing immigration raids. Troops will stay until at least Wednesday when more National Guard troops arrive. They're expecting a full contingent of 4,000 National Guard troops. State and local leaders did not request the help, and California has officially sued the Trump administration to block deployment of the Marines and the National Guard. Now, more arrests are expected as protests continue in L.A. and some other cities. LAPD says it will not tolerate criminal activity masquerading as protests. We've all seen a lot of the videos there. Protesters throwing large rocks and lime scooters at police vehicles. Protesters spitting on officers, looting, throwing Molotov cocktails, setting fires. In fact, Waymo has suspended self-driving service because protesters have lit some of them on fire and burned them to a crisp. So Waymo is suspending service, their self-driving service there. A judge has dismissed Justin Baldoni's $400 million defamation claim against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist, and the New York Times. He had alleged that they'd conspired to destroy his career with false claims of sexual harassment. But yesterday, a judge dismissed the entire $400 million lawsuit, saying that both the accusations and the article by the New York Times were legally protected from defamation claims, that Lively's lawsuit is covered by litigation privilege, meaning it's protected from defamation claims, as is the New York Times' right to report on that lawsuit. The judge did allow Justin Baldoni to amend and refile a couple of allegations regarding interference with contracts. Meantime, Lively's lawsuit against Baldoni for sexual harassment and retaliation set for trial in March of next year.
Okay, hold on real quick. I'm sorry, Baldoni, but let's just say this story did ruin your entire career. $400 million? Really? More like 40. No one's ever heard of you before. You could sue for $40 if she ruined your career. That's about it. Have you ever heard of this person?
Not till this whole...
Right. $400 million. That would be like if someone ruined, like, Tom Cruise's career. Then he could sue for $400 million. You don't get to sue for $400 million.
Wasn't the $400 million just her? And then $250 million was the New York Times?
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever it was. Your career's not worth your career's not worth $400 million. 40.
Says you.
I'll throw you 220s. Go away. No one knows who you are.
But what was his earning potential after this movie?
Not $400 million is what I'm saying.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Absolutely. No, of course I do. He's not going to come out of this movie role and all of a sudden get $20 million per film.
No, but making movies.
Right.
This was his movie.
It would have done no business anyways. It would have opened at some art house in New York City and Los Angeles.
I don't think so.
This movie was not cracking the $100 million
when
mark.
it's starring Blake Lively, it's already bumped down to about a D.
Yeah, no one likes her anyways.
Yeah.
This whole thing is ridiculous.
But I do love that he's sued for $400 million. I love it. I love it. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds can go jump in a lake.
I'm going to sue for $1 gazillion dollars.
Well, that's where you start.
Plus, the thing is, when somebody fakes a sexual harassment claim against you, don't you just want to nail them to the wall?
Now that I agree with. Yes, you can't go throwing around fake accusations like that.
Well, let me just quickly wrap up with that. You know, the massively popular K-pop group BTS. All right, I mean they're just enormous. They went on hiatus back in 2022 at the very height of their global fame. They have not performed since. Well, because all 7 members of the group had to do their mandatory military service. You know, South Korea requires all men age 18 to 28 to serve for 2 years in the military so the country could be ready to fight North Korea. So all 7 members of BTS are expected to complete their service this month. 2 of them completed their service yesterday, and hundreds of fans including those who flew from overseas, met them as they went to their agency, and they celebrated pictures and all that. Like, this band is ready to pop off again. As soon as all these kids get out of their military service, which they will this month, they are making a huge comeback. So just wait and see.
Bet the suits are foaming at the mouth.
They have
We
to
can't
be.
wait to collect more money off these kids' backs.
I mean, I can't even imagine they weren't able to get them out of this military service. But I
Right.
guess they don't play like that in South Korea. So I don't know, man. I guess BTS is getting ready to make a giant comeback probably next month sometime. And those are your three things.
Goose, did you just pull a dryer sheet out of your shirt?
Well, it was on the floor.
Oh, I thought it came out of your clothes.
Well, it must have.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on the floor, so
All
it
right.
must have come out of my shirt or something. You're doing the news. I look down. There's a dryer sheet on the floor. I thought I just had an itchy butthole, but no, it was the actual dryer sheet was stuck in the back of my pants. I don't know why it was tickling. So weird. Vic, can you think of when you've traveled, the worst detour or thing that happened? Can you think of an extended delay or something that happened? I remember one time flying back from Florida. We were on standby. I had gotten some tickets from a flight attendant friend of ours. But the thing with standby is you don't get guaranteed seats. If they got two seats, you get the two seats. So we were stuck in Florida. We got to the airport for the first flight, and we didn't leave till the last. We were there the entire day. And then we had to stop in Baltimore, where we spent the night and had to sleep on the floor before actually getting to our final destination. It was like a 24-hour travel day. It was a lot to finally get home between the waiting in the airport and the overnight stay.
I was actually kind of a similar thing. I was flying home from Myrtle Beach when I was living in Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
And my flight was at like 10 a.m. No problem. I got there at 9:30. I mean, I was through and ready. It left early.
Oh no!
The plane left early. What? You know, this was years and years ago.
Right.
I can't imagine that would ever happen today. Where
That's
the plane
crazy.
left early, so I had to reschedule, and then I was 10 minutes late for the reschedule for the 3:00 flight in the afternoon. I finally got on a flight at 10:30 that night.
Okay.
To come home.
Travel
from
issues.
10 a.m. It was supposed to be, and then at 10:30 at night.
You know, sometimes they can't be helped. It sucks, but other times, man, I cannot. And I don't know what I would do if I was on this plane. Stick with me here. You have to hear this whole story because there was a flight, a Condor A320, operating, and people were looking forward to their vacation in Greece. They were leaving from Zurich in Germany, and they were making the 1,198-mile flight to get to Crete in Greece. Now, here's the day. Here's the problem. The day started smoothly enough. The flight was scheduled to depart at 6:20 a.m. and took off at 6:51. So, a little bit of a delay. Not a huge deal. Within 2 hours, the plane was on descent. Unfortunately, due to strong winds, the plane couldn't immediately land, so it had to circle for an extended period of time before the crew made the decision to desert to Athens to refuel. The plane touched down in Athens at 11:24 a.m. local time, and around 3.5 hours after it first took off. Obviously not hugely inconvenient. Safety was the highest concern, and the plane needed to get more fuel to complete its journey. So it did that. And then at 1:50, the jet once again took off from there. Unfortunately, conditions hadn't improved, and despite circling for an extended period of time, the jet ultimately had to divert to the nearby Kos airport, where it landed at 3:28 p.m., and that flight lasted about 1.5 hours. It was then time to refuel again. However, this time, they made the decision to stop in Thessaloniki because the crew didn't have much time left on their clock before they had to clock out for the day. They're only allowed so many hours, especially the pilots. They can only be on a plane for so long. But here's the problem. The airline needed to find a place where passengers and crew could spend the night, and Thessaloniki fit the bill, so at 5:04 the jet took off. 1 hour later at 6:01 it landed. Passengers made it to a different airport in Greece than it intended 11 hours after they first started. Now, they all have rooms. Around 9 a.m. the following morning, roughly 15 hours of rest, the crew and passengers were ready to complete their journey, and so at 9:16 the plane once again took off. The plan was to fly from Thessaloniki to Heracleon. The plane made its way south pretty quickly, but then entered a holding pattern. Once again, the plane wasn't able to land due to weather, and the jet ended up diverting to Athens yet again, where it landed at 11:05, nearly 2 hours after takeoff. At this point, the Condor just threw in the towel and decided to fly back to Zurich at 1:24. They landed at the exact same airport they took off for after 36 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
I would lose my mind.
Absolutely.
36 hours off and on of a plane, 5 landings and takeoffs, and then you end up at the exact same airport you started at.
That was a really bad day.
Oh, my God. I don't know what the compensation is from the airline, but, man, I would not have been happy one bit.
Oh.
That would have put a big damper on my vacation plans. For sure. I'm all about like trying to stay level-headed.
Yeah.
And look, the ticket agent, it's not their fault.
Nope.
They didn't create the winds. The flight attendant, it's not their fault. I don't want to be mad at them, but I know people were angry.
Oh, I would be furious.
So angry.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed it never happens to anyone ever again. 99.7 The Blitz.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, time to make you a little bit smarter than you were when you woke up today. Little tidbits you can take with you. Did you know that for almost 60 years, the Beatles were the only artists that ever had 5 songs in the top 5 spots on the Billboard chart simultaneously?
They had all of the top 5 songs.
Yep. On
Wow.
April 4th, 1964, the top 5 songs were Can't Buy Me Love, Twist and Shout, She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and Please Please Me.
All right.
However, thanks to chart changes and streaming, it has now happened 4 times in the last 4 years. Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and Taylor Swift has done it twice.
Oh, yeah, I put all of them right up there with the Beatles. Jesus.
You know, when they start looking at streaming songs,
Yeah.
it happens for sure.
Well, you know what they do now? These songs, they'll start with the hook. Like the chorus will be the first thing you hear.
Right.
Because if they just get, I think, what is it, like 15 seconds?
Yeah, I don't know.
It counts.
Yeah, I have
it
no
counts
idea.
as a play. So if they can just hook you to get you to listen to the first, 30 seconds of the song, they got you.
But it also takes like 100 streams to equal a play or something. It's weighted. But, you got to change with the times. They should get credit if you're streaming their songs. It's like listening on tape.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, Weird Al Yankovic has one top 10 single.
Oh,
sadly.
Oh, go ahead.
It is not Amish Paradise.
I was going to say, it's got to be Amish Paradise.
It is not. Amish Paradise peaked at number 53.
Wow, that's it. That was his best.
It was good. In 2006, though, he did have a song which climbed to number 9 on the charts. It was White and Nerdy.
Oh. The only other one I was thinking was Eat It.
Instead of Riding Dirty by Chameleon Air, it's White and Nerdy.
I would have thought Eat It.
No, Eat It actually got to number 12 in 1984, but did not break the top 12.
Was
top
it
10.
a couple of his other big ones?
Oh, God, Like a Surgeon.
Like a Surgeon.
Yoda was a huge one.
I don't remember that.
Yoda. You don't remember the Eric Clapton Lola? He did Yoda? Y-O-D-A, Yoda. Whole song about Star Wars. Whole song about Star Wars.
I never heard that one.
Yeah. Diet Pepsi isn't vegan, but Pepsi won't say what animal ingredient it uses that keeps it from being vegan because it's commercially sensitive information.
Oh, no.
So they're not letting you know what's in it.
What am I drinking?
Just know that it's not vegan.
How many vegans just freaked out?
Oh, good question.
Because they had no idea.
You should be drinking Diet Coke anyways. It's a million times better
No,
than
it's
Diet
not.
Pepsi. Oh, 100%.
No, I just couldn't disagree more.
Why do you think they always ask you,
I don't care.
is Pepsi okay? Because no one wants Pepsi.
I do.
I want Diet Coke.
I've drank both, believe me, many times.
They
and
want
I will
Diet
take Pepsi over Coke any day.
Not even remotely close. Here's a couple of sad facts for you. America had laws against animal abuse before there were any laws against child abuse.
Why is that easy to believe?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, how many people... We were just joking earlier about picking your own Switch.
Yeah.
There are so many parents nowadays, you can see online, well, that's the way kids act nowadays because they don't get the beatings like we got. These kids need to be whipped into shape.
Oh, yeah, and you'll forgive your dog for anything.
Right. And finally, this is sad. This is really sad to think about. Elephants. They're so, big and just cuddly and dopey all at the same time with their big ears and their traveling snout.
Yeah.
Well, elephants grow 6 different sets of teeth in their lives. And once the 6th set of teeth fall out, they die of starvation. That's so sad.
Wow, so they have a definite time they're going to die, and they know it.
Apparently,
well, I don't know
so.
if they know it.
Right, I don't think they know it. I don't think their conscience goes, oh, I'm out of teeth. I'm about to just die.
I just can't imagine. Dude, like the last set falls out. They're like, yo, somebody, hey, anybody got some applesauce?
Something's right, yeah.
Come on, can I get some Jell-O, please?
Can I get a bucket of Onos up in Oiknois?
Right.
What's that stupid Greek name? Oiknois? The Greek
yogurt? The yogurt?
Yeah. Oiknois?
Isn't it just Oikos? I don't know. I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Oh, my God, that is terrible.
That is very unfortunate.
Can I just get raw eggs?
Just an elephant. I'm so tired. I'm so hungry. I'm going to lay down now.
I'll never forget that you gave it to me.
Right? I will remember. I will remember. There you go. Learning some stuff on a Tuesday morning, 99.7 The Blitz.